everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is it's a bit different actually. It's like I would say it's a chatty kind of vlog. So I hope you've got your cuppa ready. I've got my cuppa ready. I'm having a peppermint tea in the cup that David bought me. He's got a sense of humour, David. So I hope you get your cuppa and we'll sit down and have a chat because it's been a little while, hasn't it? Right guys, I don't know what to talk about first actually. I suppose I should talk about why I haven't been on YouTube as much as I normally am. And I have mentioned it in like my previous videos, and it's been because I've not been feeling very well, guys. I have been seeing my doctor and I've been having some tests done. Oh crikey, where do I start with this one? Okay, so I've been having some problems for quite a while now. I think approximately about 2 years. And over the course of 2 years, I would say the problem's gotten worse and worse. And it's gotten to a point now where, you know, it's really affecting me on a daily basis. So I did go to my doctors and as I say, they did run some tests. I have had the test results back. So I guess to cut a long story short, with the symptoms that I had and I was displaying, the tests that they were sending me for was looking for cancer. So I had numerous blood tests done, including a CA125 test, which checks for ovarian cancer. I also had like stool tests, like a fit test it's called, and I also had what's it called, a CT scan. So yeah, I had those done and they've came back, the results has came back, and I'm happy to see that they seem to be normal. But it does not take away the fact that I have this problem, you know, which is it's pains, you know, it's actually, I'm actually in pain with it. And I would liken this pain, if anybody has ever had this before, and I'm sure there's many of you out there who probably have, but I would liken it to a gallbladder attack. You know, it's very much like that. Now, I know it's not a gallbladder attack because I don't have a gallbladder. I did have that removed. So I know it's not my gallbladder. And to be honest, they don't know what is up with me, you know, so I still need further tests. But it's looking quite promising that they are kind of ruling out anything sinister, and they're looking more towards like a mechanical thing, you know, what's not working. So I guess I'm just hoping that there's going to be a quick resolution, you know, because it's just not nice being in pain and discomfort all the time. Yeah, so the doctor, it actually put me on a FODMAP diet. Now, a FODMAP diet is eliminating foods in your diet. So it's eliminating gluten, wheat, lactose. Is it lactose? Yeah, like milk, you know, dairy, as along with like onions and garlic and everything that's nice, guys. Everything that's nice. I couldn't eat any of it. You know, it was a really restrictive diet, and what they were looking at was if it could be my IBS, you know, what had flared up. But I've had IBS for years and this is not IBS, you know, but I went along with it, you know, because you have to eliminate things. And sure enough, the FODMAP diet, I wouldn't say it didn't do anything for me, but I lost weight. I lost a half a stone on it, and I was on it for 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, didn't really achieve what we wanted it to achieve, but I did lose some weight. But yeah, it was really hard going that diet because obviously everyone around me is eating, you know, lovely food. And I was just sitting there with salad, and quite a restrictive salad as well, I might add, you know, no onions on it or anything like that. Just basically a lettuce leaf, guys, you know, a bit lettuce leaf, that was it. No, what I could eat though was chips, you know, and I've basically lived off chips. You know, the woman in the chip shop, we have first name terms. Oh dear. Yeah, no, it wasn't only that, but the gluten-free food costs a fortune, guys. Honestly, I could not believe the prices. There was one day that we were having pizza, and Sainsbury's do a gluten-free pizza, and it's the cheese on it is like gluten-free as well. So we got this pizza. It was £5.95. You know, you can pick one up in Aldi for like £2.40, you know, £2.39 for the same kind of pizza. So it was like double the price. And the bread, oh my gosh, honestly, the bread, guys, oh, I mean, if you're gluten-free, you'll know the bread. I tried all kinds. You know, I tried the seeded, I tried the brown, I tried the white, and I just could not get away with it at all. And more so, I couldn't get away with the price. Honestly, it was so expensive, over £2 for a small loaf, you know. I think people who's got a gluten intolerance, you know, yeah, you know, you have my sympathy, guys, because it's so expensive, it really is, and surely it doesn't need to be that expensive, you know. Sorry guys, my battery died on me there. What was I saying? Yeah, so whilst I was waiting for the results, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was yeah, it was an anxious time, you know. I think it always is, isn't it, when you're waiting for results back. But like I say, I'm kind of relieved that they haven't shown anything bad up as of yet. I was talking to a friend on the phone the other day, and she was waiting for test results as well, and she's had hers back, and I'm happy to see that hers has come back fine, you know. But we were laughing on the phone, and I said, you know, I've been walking around and I look horrendous. I said, I look a really, you know, funny colour. I can't be bothered with myself, you know. And I said, if anybody sees me out and about, like from the channel, they'd be thinking, is that Elaine? She's a catfish. She doesn't look like that on screen, you know. But we laughed about it. She will be watching this video probably, because we met like through my channel. She was actually one of my subscribers, still is. I'm not going to mention who she is, but yeah, we had a good giggle on the phone. I think we both cheered each other up actually. So yeah, whilst all this was going on, in true Elaine style, you know, because I don't do things by halves, I decided that I wanted the kitchen floor renewing. I wanted new flooring down in the kitchen, because the tiles, I had ceramic tiles down and they'd broken, and I was quite worried, you know, in case the dogs caught their feet on them, or even like Pippin, you know, if she caught a foot on one. And so I said to David, you know, we need to renew that floor. So we pulled the floor up, which was really messy. You know, if you ever remove ceramic tiles, you'll know what I mean. And yeah, and there was also like a strange smell coming from the kitchen, one of the, like behind two of the kitchen cupboards, at the far end of the kitchen. And I could smell this, and it didn't matter how many times I cleaned the cupboard out, I could smell this smell, and it was like a musty kind of feisty smell. Have you heard that word, guys? Feisty? Because David never heard of that word before, and he says I make these words up. Now I don't know if it's a northeast word or what, but he's like, you make words up, I'm sure you do. And I'm like, well, it could be a Macam word, David. So I remember one time I said in the garden it was a bird, and I went, oh, look at that spuggy. And he went, what? I said, that's spuggy. And he went, what's a spuggy? I said, like a sparrow. And he says, I'm sure you make words up. I says, no, it's a word, David, it's a spuggy. You know, it's a bird, a sparrow. And I said, when you go to work, I went, ask your colleagues if they know what a spuggy is. And he did. And it was straight away they said, well, it's a bird. You know, it's a sparrow. So, yeah, but he seems to think I make these words up. So yeah, I could smell this feisty smell, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a dampness, like a damp, musty smell. And so I said, we need to investigate behind these cabinets. Oh, well, guys, honestly, we took the plinths off, pulled the cabinetry out, and sure enough, there was dampness on the wall behind. And so we've had to treat that. So we've had to get rid of the plaster. So it's down to brick. One of the walls in the kitchen's down to brick. And whilst it was down to brick, I was looking at the window in the kitchen and I said, do you ever, and I fancy a new window for there because that one doesn't open. And one of the kitchen windows doesn't open because I had double glazing fitted years ago, like when I very first moved here over 30 years ago. Yeah, back in the day, windows cost more if they opened, each opening cost more money. Well, I was getting the entire house done. So yeah, me and my wisdom back then thought, I don't need that window to open because it's just a dining room, and we don't use the dining room that often at that time. So since then, that dining room is no longer a dining room, it's all my kitchen now. So that window really could do with opening now that it's a kitchen. And I do have a window in the kitchen that does open. So I thought, I want a new window in there. So because the window I've chosen is far, far different to any of the other windows I've got. Well, that means I'm going to replace the living room window as well. And as you know, one of the living room windows is a bay window, and that's the window I want replacing. So it's escalated, guys. It really has escalated. Yeah, what's gone from get new flooring, kitchen flooring, and get like paint, do a refresh paint job, it's gone into a total remodel of downstairs with new windows. Honestly, I mean, but I must admit, it has taken my mind off things a little. So the plan now is I'm waiting for the windows to be made, and then they're going to be fitted in, I think, about 2 weeks' time, 2 to 3 weeks' time. So once the windows are made, we can move on and paint and do things and put the flooring down. Now the flooring has gone down from the kitchen floor to the entire ground floor, So now that I'm doing the entire ground floor, I want to paint everywhere. So the living room's going to be painted and refreshed before the new flooring goes down, and in this room as well it's going to have a refresh. But you know what? I think these plans are going to be pretty dynamic and they're going to constantly change, as we go on. So yeah, I'll update you, And you know how it is when you do one room, it just goes to the next room, to the next room, to the next room. So I'm already upstairs in my mind thinking, I want that bathroom done as well, because the main bathroom, there's really only my son who uses it now, but I've got a traditional kind of bathroom suite in there, and although I still like it, I do not like the tiles, the wall tiles. So I'm thinking I want to change the wall tiles, and I think I want a new sink and toilet. But I think I'm going to keep the bath, for the simple reason is the bath is a cast iron bath, and it weighs, crikey, I don't even know how much it weighs. I know it took 3 men to get it in there, and we had to have all of the floor reinforced. So the bath's going nowhere, guys. The bath is staying where it is, but it does need re-enamelling. So I'm going to have to look into having it re-enamelled at some point, when we get round to doing the bathroom. And I quite fancy panelling, because we did it round Emma's house, if you remember, and it looks really nice. I really like the panelling. And I think I'm going to do the panelling in the living room as well. So there's going to be some changes, but as you know, when we do them, I'll probably vlog it, guys. Am I still recording? I'm having to keep checking. we'll take you along and show you the process, because I've still got Alice's room to do as well, so we'll be getting round to doing that this year. We've got a lot on, guys. We have got a lot on. So yeah, moving on, the caravan, because it's caravan season now. The caravan site opened up the beginning of March, so we could go over. We haven't been over yet, guys. We haven't opened it up. Again, we are hoping to get over there this summer with Pippin. We did go over last year with her towards the end of the summer, but it would be fantastic if we could go over in the right in summer. We did get a phone call from the site owner actually saying that there was damage to the caravan in the storms, and that our ceiling, what's it called, skylight, it blew off. So he's kindly gave it a temporary fix until we can get over and assess the damage and get a new part and have it fitted and things. So we were grateful for that. So I think that's been the only damage so far in the storms, but we'll know more when we get over there. And there's also the allotment as well. Hey guys, honestly, the allotment. So we have been doing bits of work around there, but it got really slippy, around there, really slippy and kind of dangerous because of all of the site being littered. We're slowly clearing it, but there's a lot on the site. It's been neglected for 8 years, and there's been a lot of fly tipping on there, but there's metal rods sticking out of the ground, which if you lost your footing and you fell, it could be fatal. It could really be fatal. Yeah, we've got to be really careful and just go over there when it's when it's finer weather. So we're waiting for it to warm up as well. And it seemed as if it was warming up. We had one Sunday, it was glorious, it was really warm, and I was like, oh yes, it's a spring, and then it's gone rubbish again. It has, it's cold. I've got a jumper on. I'm constantly cold as well, but that's not out of the ordinary for me, because I'm always cold. Always. I'm going to take a sip of my tea, drinking peppermint tea, guys. I'm really enjoying peppermint tea at the minute. So you're probably wondering, Elaine, you've got a long list of jobs, how are you going to get them all done? I wonder that myself, honestly, I do. But as of now, I'm currently on a career break. And you're probably wondering, that I've never spoke about my job, and there is a reason for that, guys. It's not that I want to keep anything from you or anything like that. It's just, my job involved working with extremely vulnerable individuals who'd been through severe trauma. So it's a kind of, confidentiality is paramount, and I could never discuss anything on the channel about my job. Sorry, my dog's barking. So I'm sure you all understand, but so hopefully I'll have some time, to get jobs done, what needs to be done. And also I do have Pippin now as well, because Emma returned to work, and I do help out with some childcare here and there. And it's great, guys, because I'm getting to see Alice in her firsts, which is, it's really great, because I never saw any of Emma's firsts, very few of Emma's firsts, because I returned to work. Emma was 12 weeks old when I returned to work. I think she was about 12 weeks old, because maternity leave wasn't, you didn't get a lot back then. I know now you can take up to a year, but you only had, what was it, 18 weeks? I think it was 18 weeks I had when I had Emma, so I didn't get to see any of her firsts. And but my mum and dad, because my mum and dad used to help out with childcare, so I could work, and my mum and dad got to see Emma's firsts, so it's a kind of history repeating, where I didn't get to see Emma's firsts, but I'm getting to see Alice's firsts. So that's really nice, and I do appreciate that. I have also mentioned as well that I'm trying to do a clear out, because I've came to the conclusion, guys, I've got too many things, you know, so I'm gonna maybe cut down on the spending as well, because I just don't need all of this stuff, you know. I've given quite a bit away to family. I'm still going through things as well, you know, and yeah, and obviously what family doesn't want, I will donate to charity as well. But do you know what? I'm terrible for that, because I'll drop things off at the charity shop and then I'll see things, you know, in there, so I buy things. I'm honestly my own worst enemy, I really am. I do want to get out in the garden as well, tidy it up a little, you know, get it ready for the summer. But I'm just waiting for that nice weather, guys, which doesn't seem to be arriving. And I also want to plant some seeds as well, because I've got loads of seeds, and I want to do some tomatoes, you know, because I did some last year. I don't think I showed you them on the channel last year, but I had a polytunnel, and I grew tomatoes in there, like different varieties of tomatoes. So I'm hoping to do the same again this year, but I am behind, you know, in sowing seeds, so I really need to get to that. I have bought some flowers as well, some primroses, and I'm hoping to pot them up as well, to just add a little bit of colour, you know, in the garden, ready for spring. You know what, guys, I'm going to take this off the tripod and I'm going to show you in the kitchen. I'll just put my tea down. Well, have a look in the kitchen. Right, guys, we're in the kitchen, and look at it. Honestly, it's such a mess. So we're down to the floorboards. David's had to re-cement this because, believe it or not, this part of the floor, this corner used to be a coal house, you know, to keep coal in. So part of the floor is concrete. This was as well, but he's kind of put new floorboards in this section, but we can't really do anything about this section, which goes under the kitchen cupboards. So yeah, here we've got a hole in the floor, and you can see where the wall used to be. So this was a partition wall, and this used to be a doorway here, and this hole used to be where the old radiator was. Yeah, there will be another hole over here. I don't know why they haven't been blocked up, but we're going to try and fill them. But you can see like where the wall used to be. So this was my original kitchen. I'll just stand back here, and it was like a galley. Is it a gallery style or galley style? I don't know. But this was like my original kitchen here, and this was like a dining room, like this section over here, like where after this wall. So yeah, we knocked the wall down and made it into one big kitchen. But yeah, we're going to get the window replaced, and this is the state of play, guys. So over here you'll notice I'm a cupboard missing, and it's the big larder cupboard that was there, and the dampness I think was coming in because there was holes in the wall, because we used to have a boiler here in the past, so the boiler was here, and the holes hadn't been filled. They hadn't been like filled in. I think it's because we couldn't get to them or something. I honestly can't remember, guys, because the kitchen was fitted over, it was years ago, you know, maybe like 20 years ago. But we were down to the brick. Now David hasn't done the return here because this window needs to come out. So he's just going to wait until the new window goes in, and then we're going to do the return on that. But he's had to sort of, it was all brick this, and he's had to take the radiator off, and he's had to plasterboard. He's just like plasterboarded this, you know, and we did have a hole up here. You never ever noticed, but there was a hole up there. So he filled that hole because the pipes used to run up there. So we're doing like all of this, and I don't know if that's picking it up, guys, but where the coving's all cracked. So he's, you know, we're going to be filling all of that as well. And the cupboard's actually out in the conservatory, what goes here. But yeah, my fridge freezer as well is on the blink. This does not work anymore. The water and the ice, the pipe has gone and come loose, and you can't get to it to fix it. But to be fair, this is all discoloured now, so we're probably just going to get a new fridge freezer as well, but I don't want to be ordering that yet, because not until we've finished with the flooring and everything. But yeah, as you can see, all of the plinths are off. The plinths used to have lights in, like these round LED lights that changed colour, and I just didn't like them anymore, guys. So we've took all the plinths off. We've bought new to put on. I don't think we're going to have any lights in, because in all fairness, we never ever used them, you know. I think we used them a few times when we had like a party. You know, the kids loved them, because we used to like put them on and they used to dance in here, you know, whenever we had like a party. But yeah, this is how we're rolling, guys. This is how we're living, you know. And for at least another 3 weeks, you can see that the larder cupboard out there in the conservatory. But yeah, it's a work in progress, it really is. You'll see here as well, I used to have like a clock here. It was like a one with stick-on numbers. So I've taken that off, and when I took it off, it's left damage. You know, it being on the wall that long, it's left damage. But oh, actually, I'll show you. So the colours that I'm thinking about doing, I had these two in mind. I should have just left them there, shouldn't I? So it was this one and this one, and the Valspar paints. So I've decided to go with this one, which is called, what's it called? Candlelight. So I think that will be nice with the white units. What do you think, guys? It's like a really soft cream colour. And I've sanded all of these cupboards. It's, you know what, this was gloss white, but because it was an oil-based paint, it discolours over time. So I've changed to water-based, and you can't really put water-based on top of oil-based. You've got to really sand it. But there is a trick, guys. You still have to sand, but you can use this product called Zinster paint, and it's like an undercoat, and then you can paint on top. So if you've ever had sort of up here, this is matte paint, but if you've ever painted vinyl silk on your ceilings and you want to change to matte paint, if you put the Zinser on first and then do the matte on top, you know, that's the way to do it. Yeah, as you can see, guys, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it, in there? And we've got to live like this for, what, two to 3 weeks. So it's one of them jobs where you wish you never started. But I'm sure once it's finished, you know, it'll be worth the effort. I know David might not agree. Because let's face it, guys, it's going to be David who's doing most of the work. You know, I can probably do a bit of painting, but he's going to have to do the plastering and the fitting of the radiator, things like that, putting the cabinetry back in. So yeah, and he will be doing it like around work as well, so he'll be doing it on his weekends off. Poor guy never gets a rest. And he's also going to take some holidays off as well, you know, in a few weeks' time, so he can do it for us, basically, you know. But he's a good egg, guys, he's a good egg. I don't know what I'd do without him, actually. I really don't. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit different, you know, one for me. I do feel like I want to do more vlog style videos, you know, rather than the haul type videos. Let me know what you think, guys, you know. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. You know, it is a bit different from videos that I normally do. But yeah, just let me know what you think, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. Yeah, I just want to say as well, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, it would be great if you would subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out, and if you do press the notification bell as well, it'll tell you when I upload a video, so you won't miss out on any that I've uploaded. But yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you still join me, in the next one as well. I'm not sure what the next one will be, guys, but yeah, I'm really not sure. But I hope you'll join me for it anyway. I shall see you in the next one, guys. Take care now. Bye bye for now. Bye.